Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Continuing our recitation on Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, we are in the episode of the district magistrate has now opposed the performance of Sankirtana in the town of Nadia. Upon hearing that the magistrate has protested, Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become enraged in great anger, and he has now decided to perform a very mass Sankirtana with the entire village. And in the past episode, we heard how the Sankirtana movement, the Nagara Sankirtana party, has proceeded on the way towards Kazi's house, collecting people from all around Nadia. Continuing further, becoming emboldened, some of the devotees challenged the atheists to come forward and stop their kirtana. Prior to this was that as the procession came to each new locality, the people ran out of their homes eager to see the Lord. Without realizing it, they were all drawn into the Sankirtana. Soon, having become intoxicated by the holy names of Krishna, these people manifested ecstatic symptoms. Some rolled on the ground, some made sounds with their mouths as if they were playing some musical instruments, and others embraced whoever they met, and many were seen offering obeisances, falling to the ground like a rod. There were still others who caught hold of the devotees' feet and cried in ecstasy. So in this way, the Sankirtana party, the mass Sankirtana party, was collecting people from every home and proceeding towards the house of the Kazi, headed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Becoming emboldened, some of the devotees challenged the atheists to come forward and stop their kirtana. Now they were becoming very courageous because of the strength of the holy name and the strength of the presence of Lord Krishna Chaitanya amidst all of them. They forcefully beat the earth with their fists as if pounding the rascal atheists. When the atheists saw that the citizens of Navadvipa had become mad with ecstasy, they burned inside with hatred and envy. They assembled together and they began to conspire. One of the atheists said, "If the Kazi were to come here right now, where would Nimai Pandita run to? These fanatics would have to jump into the Ganga to escape the Kazi's wrath." Another atheist commented, "When the devotees stampede, I will stand in their path and tie their necks together." Someone else suggested, "Let us go and inform the Kazi." Another person said, "I can see only one solution. Let us all go together to these sentimentalists and loudly shout that the Kazi and his men are coming. Quickly they will all disperse." In this way, the atheists were burning with envy while the devotees were floating on waves of ecstasy. More than 100,000 men assembled, and after circumambulating through every nook and corner of the town, the Sankirtana procession with these 100,000 men, that is more than 1 lakh people, this Sankirtana procession of more than 1 lakh people finally came to Chand Kazi's house. Under the protection of Lord Krishna Chaitanya, the large crowd boisterously vented their anger, and thus there were loud roars of indignation. At last, the sound of the Kirtana and revelry became clearly audible to the inmates of the Qazi's palace. When the Qazi heard the loud clamour, he asked, "Can you hear the sound of music and singing? Is it a marriage party? Or have they disobeyed my orders by chanting in the street again? Go and find out." When the spies came upon the scene, they were awed with the sight of the huge crowd of 1 lakh people shouting about, threatening the Qazi. Hearing this, they fled in fear. They returned to the Qazi and they excitedly told the Qazi, "Quick, let's get out of here. Nimai Pandita is coming with hundreds of thousands of men who are carrying torches and chanting the names of their god. All the citizens have decorated their houses to welcome the incredible procession. The roads are covered with flower petals and puffed rice. The sound of their singing is so loud that I felt as if my eardrums would burst. Even the arrival of a king does not draw such a crowd." Nimai Pandita is the leader. Dancing in the middle, everyone is following him. The singers we had attacked the other day are present, and they are all shouting, "Kill the Qazi, kill the Qazi." The Qazi then said, "Is it really Nimai Pandita? Maybe he is coming to get married. I cannot imagine that anyone would disobey my orders. If they are, then I will teach them their lessons." As they were thus discussing, the Kirtana came closer. When the procession arrived near the Qazi's palace, the chanting became unbearably loud for him and his men. Being afraid for their lives, they scurried here and there in a bid to escape, but in the commotion, they became confused. So now the procession has reached the home of Qazi. Some of the Qazi's men unrolled the cloth of their turbans and placed it over their faces so as not to be recognized. Some joined in the dancing with thumping hearts. The Qazi's men with beards hung their heads down so that their beards would not be seen. The people in the Kirtana were so excited that they were hardly aware of their own selves, and thus the Qazi's men went unnoticed. The loud sound of the chanting, combined with the angry protests of the people, certainly made the Qazi very much afraid, and so he hid within his room and would not come out. After restraining the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down by the Qazi's door. Then he sent some respectable gentlemen to call for him. At this, the Qazi came downstairs, his head lowered. Lord Chaitanya received Chandakazi very respectfully and offered him a seat. In a friendly manner, the Lord said, "My dear sir, I have come to your house as a guest, but upon seeing me you hide in your room. What kind of etiquette is this?" The Qazi replied, "You came to my house in a very angry mood. Just to let you become pacified, I did not come before you right away. It is my good fortune to receive a guest like your honor. As per our village relationship, Neelambara Chakravarti, your grandfather, was my uncle. Since he was your maternal grandfather, you are therefore my nephew. After a nephew is very angry, his maternal uncle should surely be tolerant. And when the maternal uncle commits an offense, the nephew does not take it very seriously. In this way, the Qazi and the Lord talked, but no outsider could understand the inner meaning of their conversation. The Lord said, "My dear uncle, I have come to your house just to ask you some questions." The Qazi replied, "You're welcome, my dear nephew. Please tell me what is in your mind." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You drink cow's milk, and thus the cow is your mother. Since the bull produces grains for your bodily maintenance, he is to be considered as your father. Thus, the cow is considered as the mother of human society, and the bull is considered as the father of human society, as per Vedic traditions." What kind of religious principle is it that allows you to kill your mother and father? On what strength are you daring? So daring that you commit such sinful activities? Now, continuing the further conversation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chandakazi in our next episode. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.